Hey guys, welcome back to another episode back in Eurotruck Simulated, and today first time with the new update 1.59. So driving from Szeged, Hungary to Dortmund, Germany with some sulphur. Anyways, so oh my god, that's already like great start again. So, no, there we go. Yeah, I've already seen that they added the finance and like the damage widget, which is pretty nice. Especially both widgets that it does have, for the damage, you can see like cargo and then truck and trailer. And even like for the financial one, there you can see what your current number is, what you have in your account, and then the profit you made in the past week. That's pretty cool. I was really interested to see like how the traffic like sound rework is sounding now. So that'll also be pretty interesting. And also, sorry for the pretty late upload last Tuesday. It's my brain completely farted, and I thought I had uploaded and I didn't, and yeah, well. that's so much for that. That's that. And also pretty interesting. See, like, I haven't tried American Truck Simulator with the new update yet, but then that was close, but that worked, right? But I'm pretty curious seeing that goes. Also, especially because of the new Volvo VNL. Like, I'm not really like much guy. Honestly, not much of Volvo. Like, it never really like struck me. Like, there is something about like Kenworth Peterbilts that I really do like. I think the same in the Eurotruck Simulator, like Scania, and then the MAN, what I normally really do like to use. And that is if I use a truck that's like my go-to one. So, but then also the Illinois DLC arriving tomorrow. It's also really interesting. Really looking forward to that. Definitely is something that I'm pretty excited about on just trying and seeing. So okay, I would say like I'm listening to like, well, currently over like headphones. And actually I really do like the traffic sound rework. It does really sound way more life-like how it is in reality. Like I love that it's way more of just like the rolling resistance of the tires than just hearing that buzzing noise of the motor, what it was before. So it's really great. The one thing I do kind of, what I do, does kind of feel like in a sense is, I think there is like a little like throttle delay in the response, like for like half a second or so. Like you just, at least it feels like with the controller currently, where it's like you accelerate and there is like this split second of nothing, and then it gets going. But that is something that, like, not that, like, it's just getting used to at first, but this way, like, it's because it's not that I'm like, I hate it, I don't like it, it's just weird. But there's like some, like, a delay in responsiveness. At least kind of that's what it, like, feels like. But then you're not driving a 1 or 2 ton truck, like, there is weight to it. So I'm like, it's fine. I actually should. Okay, so 1,900 kilometers of fuel left. That is great. Here's something unrelated, but like, the weather here has been crazy. Like, in every way and manner possible. Like, it's just, I would say it doesn't feel summery, but today it's like mid 20 degrees Celsius and just, it's like about 77, 80 Fahrenheit, and it's cloudy. It's really muggy, but then it's like rainy, and then okay, no, yeah, well, I thought you might. Oh, okay, no, yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, no, it really is just like, it's everything all at once, and you can't really decide if it is wanting to be summer or if it still is kind of like spring-y, wintry. But no, it still feels like every week has all the temperatures and all weather throughout the whole year, like, just crammed into 1 week. So that's always fun. Yeah, and also sorry for not being able to live stream last weekend. I always normally try to end and do that like a few times when I have the time for it. It's just so busy, so I might cut that back a little bit, but then just try and find more time. Well, not more time, but like when I have the time for it, try and just record and then be able to record a few episodes at a time and get that out, just to kind of have that still going. It's just like, well, I should slow down, and there we go, speeding off ends. Alright, fine. It is what it is. It is kind of like weird having the head tracking again. Is just been playing a little bit of Busbound in between, and it is, I mean, great game, it's just weird that it does not support head tracking as of the last time that I played it. I think there has been a new patch that has been rolled out, but it's one of those things that it's so weird now having head tracking again, but also when you get back into the game that like there is no head tracking. There's like this kind of like, I don't say muscle memory, but like this automation of like, oh, there is head tracking, we can just use that. But yeah, that does just that like does not work. Doesn't exist. I mean, which actually would be amazing, and it would make the whole game a little bit, I want to say it'll make it a little bit easier because you just don't need to tilt the camera manually with the joystick, but also it's just like for the immersion. Nope. I'm just looking at like my sun visor in that sense. It looks kind of like if it's like glued on. Like the line isn't like, it's not like super like straight or sharp. There's not like a sharp edge in that sense. This is like, why are they driving so slow? It's 50 kilometers. Alright, that does make a lot of sense. Which I just completely did not see. Alright, we're back to 80. Oh. Oh my god, the weather today really, the muggy weather is really catching up to me. Nope. Nope. We need to take this exit. Czech Republic. Alright, towards Austria we go. I mean, other thought is just seeing the through the years mod for Farming Simulator, and then there's that other, like, I don't know if it's just like a calendar. Oh, I can't remember what the exact name is called. Came out like a few weeks ago. It's like, you know, might also be like a nice idea. Just because you'll start something like 1956 and then advance with each year until you're basically in the nowadays. So I'm just thinking of just propping that in somewhere at some point. But then I'm still trying to find some odds and also which map. Because I would tend more to like a northern German, like Dutch map, or like style map that doesn't have two big fields. So that's kind of on my mind, still very much all in the early planning stage. And who knows, you know, maybe yeah, maybe no. Well, definitely we'll see what will happen. Well, at least already in Austria, and you now get into Germany, and then should just be a few hundred kilometers. $700-ish, I'd say, until Dortmund. Actually, maybe I would say already more like 600 technically, I'd say. Like from Munich to Dortmund. Actually, I'm kind of curious what the sorry about that. What the route advisor says of how much kilometers, or how many, better said, kilometers that are still left once we get to Germany. It's just me trying to find the position where all the lights are on. Oh my god. Well, already driven about 400 kilometers again, because the fuel tank is like 1,567 kilometers still left in there. Already in Wien. I kind of want to like get a contract and drive like a job off and drive down to Spain. Even Portugal. Because I feel like Spain, I think it's like one of those places like you don't like. They're so kind of like the Greece, and that's like they're so on the outer edge that like you really like specifically need to look for it to get there. Does you like Portugal? Like I've just had, oh my god, I'd say 2, maybe almost 3 times, kind of, that I've been to Portugal here in ETS. Like just it just like never really shows up that much. Whereas if you have the more like centrally located places, they show up and pop up like all the time. And then the other thing is like what would be kind of interesting to see or to figure out or just to know is like how does the job offer like list, how are they being like created in that sense? Because I feel like there will be like some very small towns that really like you don't have that many options, and then there'll be other towns, I mean like even then like payout wise they're not great in that sense, and there'll be other cities where you'd have sometimes a bigger selection, but I wouldn't necessarily like say they're that much bigger, but they are like way more high paying than what your regular or what other cities will pay for those jobs. And it'll be interesting to see if it's like really just like a random like thing, like randomly generated in that sense. Alright, let's just have a look. I mean, we could go and sleep there as it's... We should do that because it's nearly 10 at night. Why not? Let's just fill up the fuel tank. I mean, we are already here. That was the totally wrong button. But because we're already here, why not? Okay, let's try that. They're in the perfect alignment, so what we'll do is, I mean, we don't really have the best angle for it. That is totally true. Okay, that actually does work. All right. That does kind of confirm my feeling that if you park in it, like if you park in the parking bay like you're supposed to, it is way easier to hit the rest trigger than if you just try to find the rest trigger, which a lot of times for me has just been it just hasn't been fun. Oh my god, I'm just so stupid, just trying to figure out where the time is. It's 7:22, 23 now. So that actually is pretty great because that means we still have the whole day full of... Hello. Come on. Like, you're on the Autobahn. You shouldn't, like, stop in your lane just before the on-ramp to basically let everyone onto the Autobahn. Like, just floor it, my guy. Also, random question, like, is there any, like, remnants of the very early, like, ETS 2 version that's still in the game? Because I feel like the graphics and models and everything, like, it kind of, like, SES is pretty good in keeping everything like up to modern standard, and I mean, like, now with the whole Benelux rework, bring everything back to a more nowadays standard, like a more modern standard, and revisiting their old parts. But just think of like the just like the car or the vehicle sounds in general, like, because they've been, I don't know if they've ever been like reworked in the game since it released. It's actually really curious to see if there's like old remnants, maybe even like just hidden and not really that visible in game. Like, I can totally imagine if there is like truck parts that aren't like, that are barely visible, where you're just like, you know, like, whatever, people aren't really going to look into it. Someone always will, absolutely, totally. But the other 98% of players don't even notice. Well, that'd be really interesting to see, like, if there really is something that still is like a remnant of the day, because even like sometimes you'd see It was like that long ago. It's a comparison video of like how ETS 2 has changed during the years, and it's kind of crazy. Like, and I think it's just also like these like baby steps where everything, in a sense, it's like our hair, like, very stupid example, but like you don't really notice that it's growing, although it is growing. I feel like ATS, especially ETS, like you can really like see it if you have like those comparison videos of like the early days of ETS when people go back to like the first like build that came out, and then compare it to like how it looked back then, how it's looking right now. And it's like always like these very small changes that like don't make it super obvious during every, like, with everything they have changed, but then like you just jump back. Even if now you jump back like 5-6 years, a lot of stuff will look so much different, and then like that's when it like really like hits you that it's like, oh my god, like there is like a big change in everything. So then it's like that'd be something that's really, well, I'm really just really curious, like seeing how that has to, if there's still some remnants left over from like the very early days of the game. I was like, did we? Yep, we already crossed into Germany. Oh, 643. Definitely would. So it's actually not that far off. So that I just thought there was a dog, one of our dogs, just walking through the yard, but nope. Nope. Just doing some dog care. It's great that we have a weather warning, basically a thunderstorm warning, and our little dog that thinks he's the biggest dog in like a 10 block radius is scared of thunderstorms. So, I mean, it's fairly common with dogs, but he just needs a little bit of attention. up. Kind of looks like the Aral petrol stations, just color-wise. They're not that light blue, but they're like a dark teal color, kind of. I really do. Yeah, it does feel like that the engine sound of the truck itself, or is it? Yeah, is kind of like very, very like faint. It's just like a soft sound that you can hear. I mean, I get it. It's a modern truck. Like, you're not sitting on the engine block. Just basically separated is a thin piece of sheet metal and a seat. But I feel like that is something really in like any like racing driving game. If I mean that there is like this sense of speed that can be portrayed by like how fast the vegetation is just passing by, but also I feel like just like engine or like driving noises, like if it's the rolling resistance of the tires, the engine noise, or maybe the exhaust, like everything that you hear kind of also adds to that. Which here it's like I feel like it's just like really slow. So like even if I'm going 85 kilometers an hour, it just doesn't. I've just like noticed like I catch myself being like, am I going the speed limit? Like am I actually going what I can or could? Well, that's great. Timber turtle. It's a turtle with a saw blade as a shell. Ah, we're already in Nuremberg. Nuremberg. That's where we are. Nuremberg. Better said. It's always kind of funny when like you drive past these places and you've lived there. Like not specifically Nuremberg itself, but lived in Franconia. And it's just like an hour north of Nuremberg, so it's like, okay, day trip down here, absolutely. So that's always fun to see. I just especially like how SCS really manages to kind of like portray the feeling of like the city, the area, the region, and really like squish it into like kind of like a really smaller scale, and it still feels like that like region or area. So it's always pretty fascinating to see. Nope. Although I go to Bamberg and get a Schlenkerler. That's like one thing about living overseas. There's not much that I miss, but there'll be like very specific things. Schlenkerler, it's one of them. Absolutely. Oh, it's like, what happened? Oh, but yeah, no. I think it was at the end of the last episode, or between the last, better said, between the last episode and now, that I upgraded the garage, and just so we could buy another truck and hire another driver. So mostly that was the payment for that. I was about to say it's going to be like some head tracking spasms, but nope. That went pretty well. I do feel like that little like dead angle indicator is not that it's confusing, but it's like this very small light hidden away, kind of like not on the very. I mean, yes, on a kind of like driver focus position, but it's like such a small thin strip. Like, if you wouldn't know it, you don't really notice it. At least in game. There's another gob. They really do remind me of the Aral petrol stations. No. Yep, no, we can just go straight. That is great. or close to Frankfurt. Which also means that we're gonna be in Dortmund pretty soon. Okay, alright. Let's see what it says, how many kilometers it is to Dortmund. Doesn't say. Alright. Alright, that's the Bad Homburg junction. I also like that traffic audio rear work really is growing on me. Like cars that are closer. Oh, excuse me. Vehicles that are close to me or to you really are more louder than vehicles that will be further away. Just like vehicles on the other side of the road, they're like, at least with headphones I can hear like a faint like rolling like tire resistance, like rolling resistance for noise from the tires. Hey, Dortmund, Cologne, Würzburg. It's one of those things, every time I see Dortmund, that's like from the early 2000s, I think it is, somewhere around there. The German comedian Atze Schröder, when he said Dortmund, hier Essen. I still feel like they did someone like those two cities were basically being founded with that in mind. It's also because they're not like terribly far apart from each other. It's like if someone literally translated to be like, there's mouth and here's food. Which would be weird. Town slash city names. But then I'm like, there's enough weird names for towns and cities and foods and whatnot. Yeah. Just to be on the safe side, I just I don't trust that little truck there. it, I think so. If you stick behind it, you're just stuck. Being behind it, driving very slow, and then when you would try and pass it, it'll be like, alright, let's floor it and let's just drive away. Alright, police car, you. Like I feel like that was like pretty close. And the police doesn't care in game, and they'll just fine you because you bumped into them. Although it was not you, but it was them bumping into you. Why do you want... Oh, okay. It's like, Dortmund, straight ahead. And you're like, I need to get there, but... No, it's just... Road is closed. What you mean is totally fine. We'll just drive around. Yeah, I didn't really want to risk just flooring it. I think we... I was about to say, I think we should be nearly there. We are nearly there. Oh. Yep, there's already Mund. Dortmund. Well, we're getting there. It's slowly and bit by bit. it's a green stoplight. Yep. Alright. I know. It's already 4 p.m. Well, 4:30, 4:45 p.m. Yep. Well, those last two stoplights kind of in our favor. I mean, at one point, having stopped at nearly every other single stoplight because it was red when I got there, should be some sort of like little perk of being like, okay, you get these 2 or 3. Yeah, I know. But I just want to deliver the trailer first and get the job offer all completed. And then take a nap, find a new job, and be back on the next episode. But it's like one step at a time. Oh no, wait, nope. Still over here. Oh, that's the other thing where I'm like, to make it more realistic, like, why not have like these? Oh, that's great. Here we have parking. It's like super overflowing, like rest areas. Alright, that's where we need to be. Now we just need to... Oh, do we need to drive in here? We do. Ah. Okay, so this technically isn't too bad. Technically. Because... No, I parked the wrong way around. Which shouldn't matter too much because... I think we're able to... just... Oh my god. There you go. Nope. Take slowly, not too... Yep, there is a car. There is a car. We're pretty close to it. See if we can just get in there. I know. Alright, that went pretty good. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, that did not go as planned, but... Third time is a charm, so... Anyways. Oh. Right. Okay. Alright. Oh, wait a minute, now let's just see. Oh, okay, this gives you the option here. Alright, okay. Okay, that just... Oh, great. I've that... This actually... I mean, I'm sure the other also told you, but this is kind of a bit more easy or legible. Alright. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed the episode, and I'll just drive out to the rest area, get some rest, and then I'll see you on the next episode. So have a great day and see you the next time. Until then.